Hello, my name's Richard Kent. I wanted today to talk about the garden tomb. Now, for me, the garden tomb is the centre of the universe. I've been very fortunate. My wife and I have been to the garden tomb many times. I cannot look at you and promise that the garden tomb is the actual tomb in which Jesus was buried. However, I think it's quite likely that that is where he was buried for a number of reasons. First of all, we're told that Jesus was crucified at a place called Golgotha. And here is Golgotha, which actually, the word Golgotha means skull. And I think you'll agree with me, that does look like a skull. And we're told that Jesus was buried nearby in a rich man's tomb. Now, look at that tomb. That has a huge stone over it, or had a huge stone over it. Most tombs were much smaller than that, but this was a large tomb, a freshly cut tomb, and it was in a vineyard. We're told that it was in a vineyard. Now, what does a vineyard require in the Middle East? Answer: a great deal of water. Now, it just happens that there is a massive amount of water actually in the garden tomb area. And there are very few areas outside the city walls where there are large quantities of water available in a cistern. There's a massive cistern here, which makes it very likely that this in fact was the place where Jesus was buried. Another reason we think this may well have been the right place is because the Romans had the habit of crucifying people on public highways, and Golgotha was right on what's called the Via Maris. And of course, during Passover time, there would be literally thousands and thousands of people going along the Via Maris, and they couldn't escape seeing three crucified people right by the Damascus gate. So we come back to the garden tomb. There's something else which actually is extraordinary, is if you ever have been to the garden tomb, or next time you go, if you look about 6 foot to the left of the door, you'll find the remains of an old Roman stake. It's been analysed, that stake, and found to be metal covered in lead. It's from Roman times, and we're told that the great stone which was rolled across was sealed. Now, I don't know whether this is or is not, but it's possible that that stake is actually the original Roman stake that was used to seal the great stone. This is the most wonderful place to visit. As far as I'm concerned, it's the centre of the universe. And remember that Jesus was buried there, but he only stayed there for 3 days and 3 nights because the angel rolled back the great stone on Easter morning, and Jesus rose from the dead. And it's because Jesus rose from the dead that I'm a believer in Jesus Christ and have decided to follow Jesus Christ forever and forever in heaven, in eternity. And I'm hoping that you will do as well if you haven't already decided to be a follower of Jesus. This probably is the place where Jesus was crucified. I can't promise it is. We'll only know that for sure when we get to heaven. But it certainly is a very peaceful and wonderful place. It certainly is very near Golgotha, the place of crucifixion. It certainly is on the Via Maris. It certainly has got a cistern there. There's a great deal of water there necessary for a vineyard. And for me, it's the centre of the universe, and on the door is a sign which says, "He is not here, for he has risen." And the response by most Christians is to say, he has risen indeed. Jesus Christ has risen from the dead and has appeared to literally hundreds of people before he actually went to heaven again after the resurrection, and has been changing lives ever since. Thanks for listening, and God bless.